Hello and welcome to Food for Thought. I'm your host, Dan Monroe. We're here at the United Way of Greater Cleveland Training Kitchen at the beautiful Greater Cleveland Food Bank. Joining me, my special guest chef today, Holly Davenport. Holly, welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited about this, Dan.
I'm excited too. Anything has to do with food really makes me really happy. What are we making today?
So today we're making chicken primavera spaghetti squash boats.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Let's go down the line of all the ingredients that you'll need to make this dish.
Sure. So we're gonna have spaghetti squash, which has been cut and seeded, and we'll get to the rest of it later. We have diced tomatoes. We have mozzarella cheese. We're gonna be using lemon zest, kosher salt, Italian seasonings, zucchini, black pepper, minced garlic, orange bell pepper, leftover rotisserie shredded chicken, chopped onion, olive oil, and fresh kale for green color.
All right, a lot of delicious ingredients
Yes.
there. But so where do we start? What's the first step? I take it's with the squash here.
Right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the spaghetti squash and you're gonna remove the seeds from it. You can use a spoon and just kind of remove the seeds. And once you have done that, you're going to take it and you're going to rub it down with olive oil. Black pepper.
What does the olive oil do?
The olive oil allows the seasonings, it gives flavor, and it also allows for the seasonings to stick to the vegetable.
I see.
While we're roasting it. So we're going to do some black pepper. We'll sprinkle that. And then some kosher salt. And so you sprinkle that all around. You're gonna rub it on there. Don't really worry about the outside because you won't be eating the outside. And then you're gonna place it down on the parchment paper and you'll put it in a preheated oven on 400 to roast for 30 to 35 minutes.
Does that make it softer?
Yes.
Easier to work with, more pliable?
Actually, what it does is it makes it look just like this.
Ah, look at that. Okay.
So you see all the seasonings and everything. So what you'll do after it's slightly cooled is you're going to shred the squash.
Comes right out with the fork too.
Yes,
doesn't
it does. And it looks like spaghetti. Look at that.
Yeah. Is that why they call it spaghetti squash?
I think that's why, Dan.
Let's just say it is. I like that.
And you can trick the kids with this because once you put a whole bunch of sauce on it, they don't even realize what they're eating. And so you'll put that aside because we're going to stuff that later.
Okay.
Put the top on that. So the next step is while your spaghetti squash is roasting, you're going to turn the stove on medium heat. You'll add your olive oil. You'll add your orange pepper. And your onion.
And all the ingredients you're working with today came right here from the food bank market, right?
Isn't that is so amazing?
That's fantastic.
Yes. So every day, or at least 3 times a week, what we do is we have different nutrition educators or chefs come in and they prepare items from the fresh food market. And we do that so that when the neighbors come along and they see things, the aromas are going, it encourages them to get those recipes. And so we have the recipe printed and then they can witness us prepare it.
So far, so good. It seems pretty simple to start.
Pretty simple. So we're mixing these items until they get soft, and then we'll start adding the other items. Pretty easy so far.
Pretty easy. So I know one of the big ingredients you have here is kale. So while that's working up, tell me a bit about kale. I always hear that kale is a superfood. Why is it a superfood? What's so good about kale?
Well, it definitely has a lot of B6 in it. It's fresh. It's versatile. You can eat it raw. You can saute it. You can mix it. And so in this case, what we did, it called for zucchini. The market didn't have zucchini, but for the color, I thought kale would be a good substitute.
That sounds good to me. Let's see everything. Oh, I like that. I love the sound with the oil. Once it gets hot, it starts sizzling a little bit. I love that sound.
Exactly. And so while that is cooking, and once that cooks down, we're gonna add our garlic.
Okay.
Mix that up a little bit. And so this was not a small chop because it's going in a boat and you want the vegetables to keep their integrity. So you keep them large so that it doesn't cook down too much without, you don't want it to disappear.
Yeah. Oh, I can smell that garlic already.
Yeah.
Oh, I can smell it already.
Good. And so the next step we're gonna add is our squash. This would be zucchini, but sometimes you have to be versatile. So we're gonna do squash today.
Yep, I see you got that cut up into big pieces too. So Holly, how long have you been working with the food bank?
Well, actually, I am an AmeriCorps Vista member with the food bank, and I've been serving since May 6th. I started out coming in doing this exactly as a volunteer, and I saw an opportunity, and I applied for it, and I'm here.
Great. What do you like about it? Just making dishes for and teaching, or?
Well, what I like about it the most is it's a spin on my catering. I have a catering company called That Brown Girl Spice, and I prepare fresh food. I don't want to do parties, wedding receptions. I want to have purpose with my cooking.
I like that.
And so this gives me purpose. So next we're going to add our tomatoes.
Okay. What a contrast in coloring with the yellow and the red too.
Look at that.
Color is good in cooking.
Color is good in cooking. You eat with your eyes first, right, Dan?
Yes, you do.
Okay, well, we're gonna let that cook down some more. And back to AmeriCorps. So what I do here at the food bank is I work in the nutrition and education department, and I help manage the demo kitchen by bringing chefs in, and sometimes I jump in and do demos as well. I also work with Eric, who is our nutritionist, and we have a pilot, a food is medicine pilot. And so I've been challenged with creating medically tailored meals to accommodate high blood pressure and heart issues.
Okay.
So there are 2 issues, and that's a pilot that we'll be rolling out.
Oh, I like
next
that.
year.
Yeah, because that's important.
It's very important.
Very important.
And you don't want to compromise your quality. And so what we do is we use these ingredients and we focus on serving the community with, quality food. Everybody should eat the same kind of food, right?
Do you find people are scared to cook with fresh food because they're afraid of ruining it? I know I am. Sometimes I get scared of cooking with fresh food because I'm afraid I might ruin something, or if that makes sense.
That does make sense, but what I find is it's exactly that. It's just a fear of the unknown. Don't want to mess anything up. But one thing that we do provide with every dish is a recipe.
Okay.
So we have recipes that sit on the counter for the neighbors to grab, and that takes away that fear. And if they've seen you actually do it, they can go home and kind of remember what they're doing. So as that is cooking down and all those aromas are coming together, we're going to add some Italian seasoning to it.
Okay.
Don't be afraid. There's no salt in this. It's just flavor. And then we'll add the lemon zest.
Lemon zest.
I'm going to be brave.
Okay.
And zest it right into the pan.
And that adds some really good flavor to it.
Good citrus flavor. This is where you get the best of the flavor. And we'll add a little bit that I already had.
All right. Well, you can now that lemon zest is coming through right here. I can smell the lemon.
And that smells good.
It's the flavors, the aroma is so strong yet so sweet and so pleasing.
Yes, you sound excited, Dan.
I am. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna add the chicken last because it's already cooked.
Okay.
So we're gonna add the kale. Let that cook down. Look at that contrast in color.
Yeah.
Now, kale can be a little overbearing, but it's gonna break down real good.
Okay.
See, it's starting to.
Yep, I see, yeah.
And this is the longest part of this dish is actually the roasting of the spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
So this doesn't take long. It says an hour, but that's just overall.
Okay.
And so as that is cooking down, we're going to take our shredded chicken. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to add chicken. You don't have to add any type of meat. This can be it was vegan up until the point where we added the chicken. There's no dairy. And it does call for cheese, but you don't have to add that as well if you're a vegan, but it can be a vegetarian dish.
Just some nice added on optionals if you want to go that route.
And so once all that is cooked down, we'll bring our prepared squash. Turn the heat off. And we're gonna use this one.
Okay.
Put the boat. Stuff that real good.
Mm-hmm. Look at that, comes out nice.
Put a little green on there.
All right.
Oh, I see a space.
Fill those spaces.
Fill those spaces. You top it with mozzarella cheese. And that's what it looks like before it goes in the oven.
Okay.
And you only have, everything else is cooked. So once you put it in the oven, it only needs to be in the oven for maybe 5 minutes.
Just so the cheese can melt.
Just so the cheese can melt.
Oh, that's good. There we go, right in the oven. And then when you fast forward 5 minutes through the magic of TV, we'll show you how this actually looks once it comes out. Oh, one goes in, two comes out.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's magic. The magic of TV. And here you have a finished product.
Oh, that's fantastic. That just looks so delicious. Well, Holly, thank you so much for walking us through this delicious, the chicken primavera spaghetti squash boats. It's very simple to make. You can make it at home too.
Please try this at home. This has been a hit with the children. It's very healthy, very little sodium. You get benefits from the squash. It's gluten-free, low carbs. It's definitely a winner.
All right. Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll be back with more food for thought right after this.
Hi, my name is Alex Cohen, and I'm a community-based navigator for United Way of Greater Cleveland 211. United Way 211 is a service for everyone. If you have a need and you are not sure where to turn, please come visit us at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank's Community Resource Center or call 211 so we can work to connect you with the community resources you are seeking. United Way 211 is a free and confidential helpline that connects more than 150,000 community members to local experts each year, helping them secure food, housing, and utility assistance, reduce their prescription costs, support veterans assistance, and so much more. At United Way 211, we are committed to serving communities we call home. Whether the engagement with 211 starts with a phone call, chat, or an in-person visit, we'll help you assess your situation, provide information, and help you navigate whatever problems you're facing. Please reach out to us. We're here to help.
Greetings. I'm Hugh Littleton, Access Center Liaison for Cuyahoga Community College. On behalf of all of the great leaders in Cuyahoga Community College at large, Troy C Access Centers will connect you easily and conveniently with the education and job training you need to build a better future. The centers offer a range of services designed to meet you where you are: manufacturing technology, health industry solution programs, and many, many more. It is our good pleasure to serve. Welcome to Cuyahoga Community College and the Access Center, where futures begin.
And welcome back to Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe. You know, nutrition is key for a very healthy, balanced diet. Nutrition is the cornerstone of the Greater Cleveland Food Bank for all the neighbors that come through here. Joining me now is Eric Pierkowitz. He is a nutritionist with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, what does that mean to be a nutritionist? What is your job here?
Well, I'm a registered and licensed dietitian, and what I do with the food bank, several things. Mostly working with the kitchen on writing menus, working with our different partners that want nutrition classes and cooking demos, and also managing our healthcare partnerships, such as hospitals that want to have a pantry on site.
Okay. Well, we have something here right now that's a staple of the fall and winter season, winter squash. Actually, what exactly am I holding here?
Yeah, this is a butternut squash. There's a lot of different varieties too. You see some on decoration. This is a spaghetti squash, and there's tons more. And they might look pretty, but they're also good food, a lot of nutrition in there.
Well, what is it about the insides of these things that make them so healthy? What does this come with? What does it carry with it?
The flesh of the winter squash, as we call them together, it's a good source of carbohydrates. Not as high as a potato, but more than a carrot. It's a good source of vitamin C, beta carotene, which can help support our immune system. And they're also naturally a great source of fiber, which helps keep us regular and all that good stuff.
Now, for the squash, can you eat the whole squash? Is the outside edible, or is it just what's coming in the inside?
That's a good question. I only eat the flesh on the inside, but these have been around for thousands of years, so I would look to indigenous groups to see if do they eat the outside. I don't know.
I don't know. What is it about is this only available around the fall winter time, or you can get this any time during the year? I know there's summer squash, but is that pretty much the same, or is it different?
Oh, summer squash is distinctly different than the winter squashes.
Okay.
These, like I said, well, comparing the two, the skin is tougher on these, the flesh is harder on these than your summer squashes, your zucchini, and your yellow squash. Those are also lower in carbs. They're also a good source of fiber and other micronutrients too. But they're definitely different. So the things you do with them in the kitchen are going to be different too.
All right. Well, Eric, you going to stay with me? We're going to cook something?
Yeah.
What are you going to make?
Coming up, we're going to show you how we can make a simple winter vegetable and lentil soup.
All right. Well, I like soups. It's great for the fall and winter time. Stay tuned. You're watching Food for Thought. We'll be right back.
The Greater Cleveland Food Bank exists to ensure that our neighbors has access to the nutritious foods that they need every day. In addition to the distribution efforts in our 6-county footprint, we have a call center where you can give us a call to locate where you can access food. That number is 216-738-2067. A friendly associate is available Monday through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. to answer your call. We've also opened up a new community resource center as we want to address hunger and poverty through collaboration. In addition to access to food, you will also have the opportunity to receive services from 15 other nonprofit organizations and more. We're available some evenings and weekends. You can find that information on our website by visiting www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org, and we ask that you follow us on our social media platforms. If you're not in need of food assistance but want to give back and volunteer, we'd love to have you at our partner distribution hub on Coit or our Community Resource Center on South Waterloo. We look forward to serving you.
Hi, my name is Brenda, and I'm the Community Engagement Associate at Towards Employment. We service neighbors here in the Community Resource Center by getting them connected to workforce development opportunities and jobs. We service neighbors all across Cleveland that are 18 years of age or older, live within Cuyahoga County, and are looking for connection. We can help with job opportunities, connection to other resources, and general career pathway development. You can get in contact with me at 216-696-5750 or via the internet at towardsemployment.org.
And welcome once again back to Food for Thought here at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. I'm Dan Monroe. Joining me, Eric Pierkowitz, the nutritionist for the food bank. And Eric, what are we making today?
We're gonna make a classic vegetable and lentil soup. And for the vegetable, among others, we're gonna focus on this winter squash called a butternut.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the ingredients before we get into that. What do we got here, Eric?
Yeah. We got cooking oil, onions, diced potatoes, the butternut squash, some diced carrots, salt and pepper, garlic, broth, canned tomatoes, diced with juice, coconut milk, optional, and rice and lentils.
Okay.
Dry.
Now, I see what we have here is pre-cut. About how much prep time were you looking at for a dish like this?
Depending on how good you are with the knife, 15, 20 minutes
15,
or
20
so.
minutes? Okay, not bad. Always some good prep time. But how do we cut into this? This is what I'm really concerned about. How do we prep this?
Yeah, we hear a lot of times that people aren't familiar with these, so they're hard. That's one thing. So if it's too hard for you to cut like that with a knife, you can always grab a fork and you can pierce it just like a potato.
Oh, okay.
And you can throw it in the microwave to soften it up.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And then it'll be even easier to cut. But this seems, it's working with me, so it's nice to get a flat edge. Make sure you rinse it off too before you cut it open. And then we can go down the middle and you'll see what's really going on in here. And that's the hardest cut. So we have a cavity here with seeds, kind of like a pumpkin, and some string. You can take a spoon and scoop that all out. If you want to save these, you can, that's a whole nother project. You can dry them out, roast them, season them, that's great. Or you can just put them aside.
We were talking about color in our earlier segment. What a difference in color here with a light outside but a nice orange inside. It really looks tasty, it really looks good.
Another trick, the skin, again, I've never eaten the skin. It's pretty tough. If you're good with a knife, you can use that, but if not, you got a potato peeler, vegetable peeler. You can use that to take that skin off.
It comes right off just like that.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a little bit safer too.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So, whatever's more comfortable for you. Ultimately, we're going to dice it into pieces like this.
Okay. Well, how do we start? What's the first step?
Well, we're preheating our pot already.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like soups are pretty versatile. So, we got some oil we're going to put in here. Heat that oil. And then we're going to start cooking. You can start with the aromatic vegetables like your onions. All right.
There's that sound I like. Yep.
Some sizzle. Potatoes, they take a good while to soften up. We can get those roasting, sauteing also. We probably need a good spoon to stir this, huh?
Oh, there you go. That looks like a pretty solid spoon. Oh, yeah.
Get our butternut squash in there, bada boom.
This is a good comfort food, right? A good cold day kind of soup, would you say?
Yeah, the weather, fall into winter. I'm the kind of person that can eat soup as a meal.
Yeah.
Some people like a big chunk of crusty bread with it, whatever suits you.
And I think with soup, you really load it up. You can really make it a good hearty meal. Just load it up with some good delicious ingredients like you're doing now.
So some of the vegetables like potatoes have more carbohydrates to sustain us with energy. Others like the carrots and onions are lower so they can fill you up without giving you so many calories. It's a balance.
Yeah.
I was taught, you add some salt to it, it's going to help draw the water out of the vegetables and get more browning when you're cooking them.
Who taught you how to cook? Where did that come from?
I mean, aside from family, I have worked with chefs in kitchens, so I'm always listening and picking up tips from people.
That's a good one. But family also, too, is huge.
Yeah.
Bringing those recipes down from generation to generation.
I start, again, I'm a nutritionist, and I recommend people go easy with the salt especially. You can always add more to finish it even at the dinner table. But if you oversalt, then it's either too salty, and how do you spread that out?
You
add
can't,
more, water or what? We're gonna add a little bit of garlic in here. A lot of this stuff, I mean, the recipe I think of as a guide. You can do it to taste, the vegetables you use and the amounts you put in there, depending on what your preferences are.
So I was looking at this before, plant-based chicken broth.
Yeah.
So this is actually just of like a vegetable type broth, but with the taste of chicken.
Marketing, I guess.
I like it. So what we're doing here is still vegetarian, what we're making, right? There's nothing here, even with the chicken broth. This is still vegetarian, right?
This is vegan, even.
All vegan, yeah.
And again, broth. I'm using this because that's what we had in the market to give away. But you can do whatever. You can use chicken or any kind of broth.
Whatever option you want to go with.
Or make your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once your vegetables are starting to brown, you're ready to add your liquids. So we got the stock. And then we're going to add the tomatoes with the juice. And if you want to do coconut milk, that'll give it a richer, coconut milk is high in fat. So if you're trying to minimize that in your diet, then do it without. You can still have a nice savory broth.
Yeah.
But if you want a richer broth and that's okay with your diet, then add that coconut milk in. It'd really go well with, especially like if you want to do curry seasonings. I'm going to kick up our heat now because we want to bring that to a boil.
And again, all the ingredients you got were available right here in the Greater Cleveland Food Bank Market, right?
Yeah, for the most part, we're always taking what we have in the market to give away. We're looking at, what healthy ingredients can we use out of there, and again, what might not be as popular with our neighbors that are coming to shop. Those are the things we really want to highlight and say, here, like let's show you some ideas, get you familiar with this, let you taste it before you shop, and then we find that the winter squash will move better if we're sampling it out here.
And it's all about good education. Teaching your neighbors why this is good to work with, how easy it is to work with. You showed us. It's very easy.
Did you grow up eating this?
I did. My parents loved squash.
Nice.
We had the squashes, the zucchinis, all of that. My grandmother loved cooking with squash. So I always had it. So I do understand how good this is.
That's great.
Yeah, so I do love squash.
Many people like me, I never had it as a kid growing up. So I've learned to embrace it now as an adult.
And there's that generational thing passed down from my family. I'll cook squash at home. I love it.
Nice.
Kids love it too.
See, you could come in here and do a recipe demo.
I don't know about that, but maybe. Maybe one day we'll make it cereal. I don't know.
Once we get our boil, then we can add our lentils and rice into the mix. And that's going to, we're going to bring it to a simmer again. And that can sit there and simmer. You check your vegetables periodically, your potatoes and the butternut squash. You want those to get tender, so you can use your fork, every 10, 20 minutes or whatever, check them. That gets good, then you taste it, and then we can tweak it. What do we want to do with the flavor? You want to add some fresh herbs. You want to add some curry powder, whatever. You can really make it what you want. It's a versatile base.
One thing I like about this, what we're looking here, it's again the color. It's not just the browns. I'm looking at oranges and reds and a little bit of yellow, some whites in there. It's really appealing to the eyes. I like good color in food. It's always good to have some kind of color, I think.
Yeah, as Chef Holly said, people eat with their eyes. So having it look pretty makes it more appealing and sets people up to enjoy something that they might not have otherwise chosen. And plus, from a nutrition perspective, different colored vegetables and fruits and whatever, different colored foods have different nutrients. So again, we talked about the beta carotene. That's what gives it this orange color. Whereas blueberries, for instance, the dark, rich color comes from certain compounds that have antioxidant properties, you know. So eating the rainbow, you know, trying to get different color foods is really good for you too, not just looks pretty.
So how long will this set up on the oven? How long will this take to be prepared? When it's warm enough, or how do you know when it's ready?
Yeah, again, we're checking checking the tenderness of our hard vegetables with a fork. It's probably going to take 20 minutes or so. And see, a soup is a nice thing that you can let it sit longer if you want. Just turn the heat down. But if you're in a hurry, I mean, sometimes I make a quick soup. You know, I'm not making the stock from scratch. But we're just running through what we just did, and we can get dinner on the table in less than an hour.
And this is something too, I like also cooking with my slow cooker. Is this something you can put in there and just put it on low and just come back at night from work and then it's ready?
That's a good point too, yeah. Slow cookers, people like to set it up in the morning and then it's ready when they come home from work.
All right, well, I can't wait to try it. Eric, thank you so much. What an easy dish to make, so thank you very much for that. We'll be back with more food for thought right after this.
Hello neighbors, my name is Caleb Hicks. I am the Community Outreach and Training Manager at Digital C. We are located in the heart of Cleveland's Huff community. Our mission is to bridge the digital divide in the city of Cleveland by offering essential services and digital trainings. Here at the Cleveland Food Bank, we offer high-speed internet for $18 a month. I repeat, $18 a month for 100 gigabytes uploading and 100 gigabytes downloading. As a Cleveland-based organization, we built our network for Cleveland by Cleveland residents. Our training programs include basic computer skills, smartphone usage, and guidance on other electronic devices. We also provide digital clinics to assist with applying for benefits and offer one-on-one tech support. For more information, you can visit us at digitalc.org or contact me at 216-586-4037. And please don't hesitate to reach out because we are here to connect all of Cleveland.
All right, and welcome back to Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe. Joining me now, my good friend Tiffany Scruggs, the Executive Director of the Community Resource Center here at the Cleveland Food Bank. Tiffany, what did you think of the meals today?
Oh, phenomenal. What a nice variety. And it's fall, right? So who doesn't love a good hearty bowl of soup?
I love it. And Holly made a delicious dish with the spaghetti squash. I didn't even know about spaghetti squash until she pulled it out. I'm like, it looks like spaghetti.
Exactly right, and that's what we've been educating our community on, just that. I've even learned some tips in terms of how to prepare healthier items, and they're tasty.
Well, Tiffany, what do people need to know about the Community Resource Center?
So the Community Resource Center is available to low-income community members who are looking for food, but also access to other services, which we know is really, really the secret to reducing poverty and addressing food insecurity in our communities.
And if people want more information about this, the food, of course, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, where can they go?
They can visit our website, www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org. But we also have a call center, 216-738-2067, where a friendly associate is available over the phone, Monday through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., to learn of additional information.
Well, Greater Cleveland Food Bank, we're so glad to have you in our community. You do such good work for all of our neighbors in the community. So
thank you so much, and we'd love to have you back soon.
All right. Well, thank you for watching Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe, and I'm reminding you to cook often and cook healthy. It's so good. I could eat this all day long.
Me too. I think I will.
Okay.
Okay.